Welcome to Justice For, a true crime podcast hosted by two besties from Colorado, focused on bringing justice to victims by telling their stories. New episodes release every Tuesday on all major podcast platforms and YouTube. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube so you'll never miss an episode.
Trigger warning, this is a true crime podcast that does contain adult language, adult themes, and some content may be disturbing for some viewers. So please watch and listen with discretion. Do you remember playing hide and seek as a kid?
Yeah.
Trying to find the best place to hide from the seeker, the adrenaline coursing through your veins as you stay hidden and quiet, hoping they won't find you.
And you gotta do it quick, man. You gotta do it quick. You gotta be quick. You gotta be quiet.
Yeah.
Make sure your feet are all hidden and tucked up behind a curtain in a closet.
I always got behind something and just hoped
I would
I
shove
wasn't
myself
stuck.
in a toy box or go hide in the bathtub.
Yeah. Absolutely. Anyway, it's supposed to be a harmless kids game. That's supposed to be fun. Yeah. Right? Well, today we're going to be telling you about the most fucked up game of hide and seek that may or may not have happened.
Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of Justice For. We are your host.
I'm Jackie.
And I'm Sam. So, our story today, once again, takes place in a warm, sun-soaked state of Florida.
Oh, good old Florida.
Oh, great. We're back in Florida.
I love Florida. I know you don't like Florida, but I love Florida. So it's very fitting I'm wearing an Orlando shirt. Look at that.
I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Clearly, Florida has a darker side, one that often finds its way into the headlines.
All the time. So listen, there's a news station in Florida I started following during the Gabby Petito thing. Yeah. And I still follow them because one, the dude is phenomenal at news coverage, like their main guy. And two, it's so great to see Florida headlines pop up in your Facebook scroll all the time.
They're
all the time.
Crazy. My favorite. No, I'm not getting into it. Okay. On the morning of February 24th of 2020, Orlando police received a strange call from a woman stating that her boyfriend was dead. Firstly, it starts with the police, and then it actually gets transferred over to the fire department, and we're going to play that for you now, so take a listen.
911, what is the location of your emergency? 4748 France Court, apartment 3.
4748, what's the street name?
France, Frantz.
And the apartment number?
3.
Is this a police or medical?
My boyfriend is dead.
All right, great. Now tell me exactly what happened there.
My boyfriend and I were playing last night, and I put him in a case and we were playing. And kind of hide and seek kind of thing. So I fell asleep, and I woke up, and he was dead in the suitcase, so I don't know what happened.
Right, okay, what's the apartment number?
3.
Apartment 3?
Yes, he has, blood coming out of his mouth, and I don't know if, he had, an aneurysm or what happened.
Right, okay, all right, okay. Listen, we're getting help out there, too. All right, okay. Okay,
right now?
Okay, listen, we're on our way out there. You're at 407-716-8684. Okay, is he hanging from somewhere or what, ma'am?
No, I pulled him out of the suitcase. I tried giving him CPR.
Okay, so he was in a suitcase?
Yes, and I fell asleep.
Okay, all right, listen to me. Okay, I just need to confirm this. All right, I understand. I just need to confirm this. Is he awake at all? Is he conscious at all?
No, he's purple.
Is he breathing?
No.
All right. I need you to get him on the floor, flat on his back for me, okay?
I did. I tried giving him CPR.
All right.
I tried giving him CPR.
Yeah, okay.
But nothing happened. He's purple.
Okay, listen to me. If there's a defibrillator available, I need you to get it for me, okay?
What is it?
You have an AED available?
No.
All right. Do you right by him now?
I'm sorry?
Are you right by him now?
Yes.
Okay. Lay him flat on his... Okay, ma'am, listen. So is he cold and stiff?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, he's not necessarily cold, but he's stiff. And he's purple.
Okay. All right, listen to me. Listen to me. I want you to lay him flat on his back for me on the floor.
I did.
Removing the pillows. Okay.
Yes, I did.
All right. Okay.
He's stiff and purple.
Okay, listen. Okay, man, that's fine. We're still going to do compressions on him, okay? All right? Place the heel of your hand on his breastbone, right in the center of the chest, right between the nipples.
Yes.
Put your other hand on top of that hand.
Baby, I'm telling you. Just by looking at him, you can tell.
Okay.
Please. Okay, he just gurgled.
Okay. Listen to me. All right. I want you to place the heel of your hand. Okay, right between his chest, right between his breastbones.
Yes.
Put your other hand on top of that hand.
Yes,
we want to pump his chest to me hard and fast, going to this twice per second.
I'm doing it again.
Okay, no, just keep on pumping. That's all you need to do for me. Keep on pumping his chest for me. I don't need you to stop and talk or anything. I just want you to count out loud for me, okay?
1, 2, 3, 15. This is nice.
Okay, ma'am, just keep on pumping his chest. That's all you need to do for me, okay?
Yes. Come on, please. Hurry up.
Okay, ma'am, they're driving here as fast as they can. Okay, don't stop to say hurry up. Just keep on pumping and counting.
I'm still doing it while I'm talking to you, okay?
Okay.
Still doing it.
All right, just continue pumping his chest. Count on a second count with you.
1, 2, 3. Please hurry. This
Right,
is
okay.
horrible. This is horrific. What happened? Like, what happened?
Okay, ma'am, just keep on pumping his chest for me, okay? They're in the parking lot. They should be up there shortly, okay?
Yes. I'm still doing it, okay?
All right, okay, good. And you found him in a suitcase, you said?
Yes. We were playing hide and seek last night. I fell asleep. I think they're here.
All right, just keep on pumping his chest until they take over, okay?
I am.
Okay.
I am.
Okay.
I am.
Okay.
Open. Come in. Can I stop pumping now?
Let them take over for you, okay?
When was the last time anybody saw him? Last night. We were playing hide and seek. He hit the suitcase. Okay. But unfortunately, he's been down too long. There's nothing we can record now.
If you haven't figured it out just yet, we will be telling you about the strangest murder case we've probably ever heard of. We're going to be telling you about the unfortunate death of Jorge Torres.
This is definitely one. You can't write this. You can't make this up. It is one of those that you cannot make this up.
It's also been in recent headlines, so you probably know about it, but we're just going to,
Yeah, her trial just finished. Didn't it? Yeah. Like a couple weeks ago, if that.
Basically.
Yeah, so we were already had this on the calendar
schedule.
And on the schedule, and I knew the trial was coming up, and then I was like, oh, the trial's happening right now.
Yeah.
And I sent it over to her, and I was so excited because I've been following this since 2020.
Yes, same. So really quick though, I want to point out that Jorge Torres, his name is obviously George, but it's spelled like Jorge. Okay?
Yes.
So if you see documents, when you see anything like that, just keep that in mind, okay? So I am sorry that we played such a long clip from the get, but y'all really needed to hear it. So let's just break it down just a little bit, okay? A lady called in saying her boyfriend was dead. She seemed decently calm when she was saying her boyfriend was dead also. A little weird. The fire department was walking her through how to do CPR as they are required to do. And she just kept saying over and over again how she already did it. I already did it. I already did CPR. He's purple and stiff. I already did it.
Because most people stop doing CPR.
Yes.
Instead of trying to continue to save their loved ones.
Crazy. She then reluctantly performed the chest compressions on him until the police showed up. And the way she was counting on it, he was like, you count to 4 and start over. And she's like, 30, 31, 32. It was a fucking idiot. He also the dispatcher had to tell her to stop talking and just Like, do the compressions.
Yeah. And guys, that will be a theme.
Yeah.
For the rest of this episode.
Yeah. I also personally don't think she was actually doing the compressions until he told her, like, oh, hey, the police are in the parking lot. Because the breathing on her completely changed at that moment. Yeah. It was crazy. I just have to say this line really quick from the... from the dispatcher. He was like, don't stop to say hurry up. Because she's like, just hurry up. He's like, don't stop. Like, anyway, so she also says he was gurgling, which I'm assuming was probably the death rattle.
Yes, but like being cold and stiff, we're not gurgling.
Also, if you had already done chest compressions, why is he just now gurgling?
Yeah.
Weird. Also, EMS told her that he was way too far gone and she needed to like go outside and speak to the officers, clearly. And during the call, you can tell, like, or you can hear her tell every single person who she spoke to that they were playing hide and seek. A 42-year-old couple. But like, you know, people are just continuously telling their stories and like trying to get it to anyone who will listen. And that's just, as soon as what happens. It always happens in every story. Mm-hmm. But, and also, most of the time, as soon as police arrive on scene, dispatchers get off the call, they hang up, and both of the dispatchers for police and fire stay on the line. And it was
I would too.
Wild. I mean, same. I would want to see how that played out. So, do you remember how I texted both of you that I had a super fun fact?
Yes, because then you went and tell me, and I want to know.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now. So, super fun fact about this. The apartment complex, or I guess it was townhomes, that all of this happened in, less than 2 miles away from this place, Casey Anthony's car was found with her dead child in it.
No way!
Yeah. I mean, obviously years earlier, but...
Yes, but that's wild. Yeah. That is a super fun fact.
I know. I knew you would appreciate it. And then I was listening to a podcast on this, and someone called it the suitcase story, and it just made me giggle. Anywho, before we move on, who's George?
Who is George?
Jorge Torres Jr. was born on February 13th, 1978 in Philadelphia. He came from a large family having 6 brothers and 3 sisters. His parents are also still together, and they're very lovely. He had 2 daughters and a son, and many, many other family members. Unfortunately, I couldn't find anything else. And if you Google his name, it's overpowered by headlines of another person.
Can we like make it more of a normal thing to blast things about the victims and their life and everything else over top of everything? Because I have a few newer ones that are getting that a lot better, but it's so hard to find any information on some of these people in their lives.
It's true. Especially when headlines are overpowered by other people who are really fucking annoying. So...
Oh, are we going to talk about Sarah now?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Let's talk about that lady who was on the phone. Sarah Boone, a 42-year-old woman who was in a relationship with 42-year-old George. I also can't find any fucking information on her. Like, before the incident happened, because...
Like, other than the generic, like, she has a son, she was married before.
Yeah.
That's about it.
That's literally it. It's crazy. Anyway, family and friends did describe them as a couple who experienced highs and lows of love, and it was filled with passion, but it was also marked by conflict. Witnesses and close friends later described their relationship as a roller coaster. There were moments of love and joy, but also signs of tension. Sarah's past reportedly included issues with anger and substance use. I'm also pretty positive that I saw a mugshot for George as well, but I couldn't find any record of it.
Okay.
So, I can't imagine they had, like, the best relationship.
No, if I can remember from what I've heard and seen with it, between trial stuff and other things, they were very back and forth on it. Like, just very toxic relationship. A lot of, like, fighting and then separating and then getting back together. And, just a lot of just toxic fighting.
Pretty much. So, in the body cam footage, once the police arrived on scene, according to Sarah, the couple had been drinking at their home in Winter Park, which is a suburb of Orlando, and they decided to play hide and seek, as you've heard before. During one of her interviews, she specifically said that we only had a bottle of wine, we were doing a puzzle and arts and crafts, and decided to play hide and seek, and then nothing happened.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
That right there motherfucking indicates something happened.
Yeah, that interview with her, most entertaining thing you're ever going to watch. Really annoying.
The body cam or the interrogation?
Interrogation.
Oh, I'll get to that.
We're on the body cam.
We're just on body cam.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're just on body cam. They're all...
Yep. She also repeated a couple of times, in the body cam footage, that he must have had an aneurysm. And when the officers asked her, like, does he have any medical conditions, anything like that, she just responded saying, like, I don't know. Then why would you say that?
Yeah.
Okay. She kept saying that George is the one that got into the suitcase because he thought it would be funny. And she just went upstairs and went to bed and completely forgot he was in there. She also did not call the police until 12:30 p.m.
Oh, yeah, because what was she doing before that? What was she doing before that?
I don't fucking remember.
Oh, her first phone call after she woke up was to her ex-husband.
Yeah, now I remember.
From down the street.
Yeah.
Who came over.
Yeah.
And then we called the cops.
Yeah. I totally fucking forgot about that. They called her out on that too, which is hilarious.
Yeah, in the body cam, they're like, why did you call your ex-husband first?
Mm-hmm.
Why was that your first call? Well, because I didn't know what else to do. And so I called him to come over.
Yeah. She was also very concerned about what George's parents were going to find out about the situation as well. It was really weird. She actually said, and I quote, "They're going to think that I killed him." And the detectives said back, why would they think that? And she responds and says, because they always say that. They say, I'm the blue-eyed white dragon. They don't want him with me. End quote.
Oh, didn't see that part of the body cam footage.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I'm not going to play any of it. We are going to link the body cam footage below. I didn't want to play any of it because there's actually a lot of wind in it, so it's a little rough. And we have a lot to cover. So, Sarah's story did begin to unravel as detectives conducted their investigation. During questioning with her, so when they brought her in for the interrogation, inconsistencies emerged in her account of events.
I need you guys to know that her interrogation is probably one of my favorite things that I watched for all of this because I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to say it. Y'all thought Letitia was good? Y'all, I want to put these two in a room together and just watch.
Oh, God.
I just want to put them in a room together.
I would be entertained for a little bit, but I feel like my ADHD would get the best of me and I would just leave.
My ears would bleed.
With both of their voices? Absolutely. So, the investigation into George's death revealed a complex narrative. Authorities found evidence suggesting that the argument that they had, that she didn't mention, escalated significantly. There were conflicting reports from neighbors about what they heard that night, adding even more layers of complexity onto this timeline, unfortunately. As detectives pieced together the events that happened, they found that Sarah's explanation lacked any credibility. Surveillance footage and witness statements indicated that there was not a straightforward, she was not being as straightforward as she initially claimed. So, however, the most damning piece of evidence came directly from her motherfucking phone. Girl!
Oh.
So, something we always say on this podcast. We motherfucking love dumb criminals. We do.
Every last one of them.
Every last one of them. Before we play these videos for you, in the interrogation, they went to show her the videos from that night that, you know, she fucking took. And right before they started playing it on her laptop, they specifically asked her, like, do you remember taking any videos or pictures from the night before? And she was like, no. And so they're like, oh, well, look what we have for you. And then she, okay, I'm sorry. I need to read what I wrote. I'm sorry. So, but first, like, they're like, here, let's show you this. And the laptop died right before they went to show her this. And it was so frustrating and it's super hilarious. But they went to get a charger for it and all this stuff. And she was just like, I don't know if I want to see these videos. Is this going to take long?
Yeah, her dramatic acting that we get in this. God. And I just love the fact that they thoroughly asked her if she took any photos or videos that night. Like 3 times. And she's all, no, I didn't. So you don't remember taking them? No, I wasn't drunk. I always have my wits about me. Oh, cool. Can we show you these videos you took on your phone last night? What?
Idiot. Also, yeah,
I loved it.
Ma'am, it'd be so fucking for real right now. Like, are you kidding me? She claims that they only had 1 bottle of wine, but she can't remember these videos that she took of him on her phone. Obviously, someone's lying, and we all know who the fuck it is. She also isn't denying that there could be videos. So, I mean, take what she says with a grain of salt because who fucking knows. I think the part that really gets me is the sheer fact that she just, like, didn't want to watch them either. How long is this? I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, that was also, like, because then when they start to play the videos again later in the interrogation on her, to fuck with her, she, like,
that was so funny.
Panic freaks. Oh, God, I was laughing so hard when they started just randomly playing the video. And she's all, can you turn this off? Why are you making me watch that? Yeah, so the police just randomly played the video again. It was great.
If you can't tell, she honestly just annoys the fuck out of us. So, sorry. Anyway, we're going to play the videos for you really quick. For our audio listeners, I'm going to describe to you what's happening because you're not actually, you can go watch it if you want. But essentially what the videos show is George in the suitcase and you can see him actually moving in the suitcase, like pushing on it. And she's just sitting there recording it and laughing at him.
And taunting him.
And just like, fuck yeah.
And now we're going to watch it.
Mm-hmm. And then there's a second video because there's 2 altogether. It's the same thing, but the bag has actually been positioned differently.
Sarah.
For everything you've done to me.
Sarah.
For everything you've done to me.
Sarah.
You.
Sarah.
You.
Sarah.
Stupid.
Sarah.
That's my name. Don't wear it up.
Sarah. I can't breathe, babe. Seriously.
Yeah, that's when you do when you choke me.
Sarah. 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 Sarah, I can't breathe, babe.
That's on you.
Sarah, I can't breathe.
It's on you.
Sarah.
Real or ransom. I want to get video for it extra. Because I got this.
Sarah.
Real or ransom.
Sarah. Sarah, I can't breathe, babe.
Oh. That's what I feel like when you ching on me.
Sarah. Breathe, Sarah.
Yeah. You should probably shut up.
Sarah.
Shh.
Sarah.
So, after they showed her these videos, she just basically says, like, well, I flipped him over. Like, is that supposed to make the situation better? She does also claim that she left a 2-finger, like, opening in the zipper so he would be able to breathe and possibly get out. But as far as I could see on those videos, there's no fucking way.
And as far as the detectives could see,
yeah,
there was also no way. Because I love that, wasn't a female detective in there?
Female and male.
Who was like, there's no gap in that zipper. There is nowhere. Show me where it's at.
Yes. He was all, the suitcase was like, literally upside down. It was flipped.
And you can hear, like,
yeah.
For later, just keep in mind his tone of voice and how it's kind of drug out and a little slower and not an angry, very aggressive. Because I have a theory to go with that when we get in there later.
So, on top of all of it, he was literally begging her to let him out. And she was slurring her words so bad that you could just tell she was obliterated. Oh, and something I completely forgot to mention, which you guys will probably actually hear in the interrogation clips. While she's sitting there, like, seeing these videos, she was just like, guys, this is killing me right now. You're killing me right now. Bitch said what?
Horrible choice of words. Horrible choice of words, Sarah.
This woman. But, there was something. Oh, I forgot to put this in here. The 2 videos that you just watched. So the first one was like 2-ish minutes long, and the second one was like 23 seconds. The timestamps on both of those are 11 minutes apart.
Yes.
So
we have the suitcase in one position in the first video, and then when we get to the second video, the suitcase is flipped over on its front.
Yes. But now that we've already brought it up, I don't know how many times, I want to show you guys some clips from the interrogation.
Oh my gosh, because it's so beautiful.
It is. The first one, it's going to be a little bit short, and specifically, it was like right after they showed her the videos. And I just want you to listen to what she says really quick.
I don't know what you want me to tell you. Like, I don't know, like, what you want me to tell you.
I'm just telling you what we see and what we've heard from the other video.
I understand.
He's begging for you to let him out. You're laughing in the beginning, and then in the end, it sounds kind of like a...
No, it's not malicious.
Well, saying
it's not malicious.
Then what is that?
What does mean to you?
Well,
like if I were to tell my
like he does. Like, I get called everything but a white woman, so
okay.
My intention was not to leave him in there. Please understand that. My intention was not to leave him in there.
But you went upstairs thinking that he could get himself out, but the video shows
at no point
can I see his fingers.
He'll be up here any minute.
And then 30 minutes later, he didn't show.
And he's telling you.
And I didn't wake up.
Do you think he's joking? You told me he was laughing, and
we were before.
The video, there's no
when we
laughing.
first got in there, both of us were.
So how long was he in there for? Like, this video is at 11:12 when it starts, so was he in there for like a long time prior to recording this?
No.
So it goes from funny to no longer funny, but you're the only one laughing.
But I didn't think that he was, like, panicky. Like,
So pushing up on a suitcase saying, Sarah, 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 I can't breathe.
George has done that in the past before, too, where it's just like he thinks that he's woe is me kind of thing, where it's like, I don't...
He's never been locked in a suitcase, that's where he couldn't get out, so...
It's kind of, I thought it was the boy crying wolf kind of thing.
Okay.
And again, my plan...
But nowhere in there is he laughing, is he joking, he is begging.
They want you to tell them the truth.
And
is what they want.
What happened?
Yeah.
And...
Yeah. And of course, she completely turns the situation like off of her and onto George. But it also seemed like she was trying to make like a defense for herself, like right off the bat, saying like she wasn't drunk at all, but doesn't remember the videos.
She doesn't remember the videos, and she's so clearly slurring her words and so drunk. Like there is, and the fact that she keeps arguing that she has all of her wits about her. She does not get drunk. They only shared a bottle of wine. Like, she stays so hard to that when, like, ma'am, we can clearly hear otherwise.
Yeah. I have more clips from the interrogation I want to show you guys. And I really want you to, like, listen to the tone of voice. And, like, if you're watching, please, like, watch her. And watch how she's acting and motioning, like, compared to what she's actually saying. This shit is just crazy, honestly. She can't keep her fucking story straight. She keeps contradicting herself. And I just genuinely love that the cops keep calling her out on all of it, too.
Oh, yeah. These detectives are phenomenal in this interrogation. They call her on everything and then come back to it. And it's great. They're so good.
So, there's another clip. I hope you enjoy it.
And you also, in the video, you can't see any holes. There's nowhere in that where the zipper separates and you can see a hole. If there's a hole, he's pushing on it, begging you to get out. We should probably see that hole that
He
you're
essentially
talking
would have
about.
been able to get out.
Huh.
Alcohol...
Based off what you're telling us, he should have been able to get out.
Okay.
But the video shows him attempting to get out, begging to get out, and he can't. So that's just what we're trying to figure out. I don't know if maybe you had too much to drink, you zipped it up all the way, and then,
I did not zip it up all the way.
Okay, well.
I did not zip it up all the way. This is horrific, okay? Horrific.
It is terrible.
Yeah, so
horrific. I don't think I'll ever be right because of this. Ever be right. Dealing with everything else that I have in my life, personally. And then this.
Okay.
Whom I loved. It was not intentional. I will put my hand on the Bible. It was not intentional. I would not do that to him nor anyone else.
But you did.
Not intentional.
You intentionally went up to bed.
I didn't intentionally go to bed because I'm thinking, okay, good, he can get out.
How did you not intentionally go to bed? You said you went upstairs and got into bed. That's intentionally going to bed.
Waiting for him.
And he doesn't come, but you don't go down to check on him.
So I happen to go to sleep. When I say go to sleep,
and what do you normally do when you go to bed?
Do.
What do you normally do when you go to bed?
What do you mean?
What is a bed for? Going to sleep.
Right.
So you go to bed to do what?
But obviously you can tell too that, like, I've been drinking also.
You go to bed to do what? Okay. You kept telling us, hey, I wasn't intoxicated. I wasn't this. I wasn't that.
Being drunk and intoxicated, which, yes, you can tell that I had been drinking, but...
Okay. So if you weren't intoxicated, then why would you ever leave somebody in a suitcase that's begging to get out, that's telling you they can't breathe?
If I hadn't been drinking, you still think it would be the same thing? Where it's like, hop in, I'm going to go to sleep. Is that what you all are trying to do? To portray me as?
We're not trying to do anything. I'm simply asking you to explain to me what happened.
Everything was fine and dandy.
I don't call it fine and dandy.
Was fine and dandy.
Explain
you also, okay, for me to tell you this, again, mind you, I've been without him for a day now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I mean, I don't know what you all want me to tell you because this was not in any way, shape, or form, hand on the Bible, intentional.
Okay. So you just left
I
him there to
didn't
teach
kill
him?
him.
You left him there to teach him a lesson?
I didn't mean to leave him there. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
You got up and walked away. How is that not intentionally leaving him there?
Because I'm looking at the hole, knowing that it's there. He'll get out no problem. Because you don't.
And then he doesn't, but you don't go check on him. You say you're up for 30 minutes, and he doesn't come up. You don't go down and check on him?
I'm in the bed.
You even moved,
And dozed off.
you admit to moving the suitcase, like, over, so.
You roll it.
You roll it over, like, it's not like.
I didn't want it to be like that. Don't.
You didn't want him to be upside down? How do you even get upside down?
Right. You guys are killing me right now.
So, God, that's my favorite interrogation clip. That's what I've been talking about. I love that. It is, first of all, the female detective just pressing play while she's in the middle of it, and also you just hear, Sarah, like, is beautiful.
The way she stopped talking.
I didn't mean to do it. It wasn't intentional.
I didn't mean to kill him.
And I swear, I don't think I've heard anybody say more I statements in my whole life.
Dude.
It's been a whole day since I've been without him. How do you think I feel? Someone needs to tell her that horrific starts with an H and not a W. Horrific for me.
Did you see the confusion on my face? And it fucking pieced together. Ugh.
There's so much of this, guys, to listen to. You well, you're gonna link it, but go find it if you're bored.
Yeah. I'm gonna get into a little bit of psychological stuff really quick.
Okay.
Based off of that interview. There's a few things in this interrogation that indicate that she's not being truthful, like, throughout the entire thing, honestly. Firstly, she keeps saying the same story in the exact same order. We were home. We were drinking wine. We were doing puzzles. We were doing arts and crafts. And then we decided to play hide and seek. I went to bed. I woke up. Realized he was in the suitcase.
Yeah, it's very matter of fact and to it. Like,
Got
that's
him
not
out,
how that
did
goes.
CPR.
Yeah.
Called the cops. Like, most detectives generally should, like, stop at that moment. And that's why they have you repeat the story so many times. Like, oh, start from this part, though. Because then they'll have to sit there and think, like, oh, what part was that?
Yeah, they have to get through the rest of it to get to there.
Yes. Another is when people put a deep pause on the end of every single word, just like she did. I did not do that. Yeah. Generally is also another indication of untruthfulness. I did not do that.
I didn't mean to do it. I did not intentionally do it.
Yes.
But you did.
One last sign as well. In this 3-minute interrogation I just played for you guys, just this clip, all 3 of these happened. She invoked God.
Oh, yeah.
She invoked God. Bringing up a religion or God or anything like that is trying to reach and grasp for something to get out of a situation. Like,
I've never thought of that.
Yeah, trying to pull those strings of belief for other people to, like, have that belief in you and try to reason with you. So, good on these fucking cops for not falling for her shit. Period. Yeah. As someone who grew up in a level 500 narcissist house, you catch on to some shit.
You tend to.
So, I don't think I've ever personally listened to an interrogation like where they actually talk about the same thing over and over and over and over. Like, as direct as that.
Yeah. I mean, it happens in, like, a lot of our interrogations, but they were very specifically the same things over and over again, to the point where I'm like, is it this part or another part I'm thinking of?
But also, the person being interrogated contradicting every single thing they're saying. Like,
yeah, that was...
She was...
If I would have been sober, do you think I would have done that?
You just said you weren't drunk.
Right, but you just said you weren't drunk. So, Which one is it?
Yeah,
I want to know.
Drunk and being intoxicated are two different things.
Like, honestly, her
sorry,
contradicting herself just gives me life.
So. It does.
But, I don't know. I also don't think I've ever listened to an interrogation that the person being interrogated is literally screaming at the police officers.
Yeah.
Also.
And
and also she's only screaming at them because she keeps changing her story. And
yeah, she's getting frustrated with herself. I don't know how they don't laugh.
Yeah.
Like, I would make such a horrible detective because I'd start laughing. Like, I would just start laughing at them.
Yeah. Honestly, the only thing that I can think that she was truthful about is that she did not mean for him to die. You know, I don't think people have plans to, like, go out drinking at one night and then all of a sudden they're driving and they kill someone. People don't mean to do that.
I don't think she intended to kill him.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't necessarily say she didn't mean to kill him.
Elaborate.
Well, her intentions that evening weren't to kill him, but I feel like she meant to kill him at some point. Does that make sense? Like, yeah. I feel like she didn't go into that evening with that intention.
Yeah.
But as that night went on...
Totally valid. That makes sense.
Especially since... more...
Yeah, especially since a lot of his family was like, oh no, she's going to kill him.
Well, and with her just telling him, like, I can't breathe. That's how it feels when you choke me. Like, I feel like we did not start with the intentions, and she didn't mean to do that when he got in the suitcase, but as that time went on, we didn't intend for him to die when we went to bed, but we might have meant it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It does. I also feel that, like, even if you don't intend to do someone harm like this, like, when you know it happened and you know you fucked up, like, just fucking admit to it, man.
And there's no remorse.
No.
She doesn't give remorse. She gives a lot of I statements, but there isn't any, like, I feel so bad I did this. I can't believe I let this happen. Like, I can't believe this happened. Like, oh my God. Oh my God. It is a, well, how is this going to affect me?
Absolutely. I do also genuinely hate that I'm bringing her up, but, like, Casey Anthony didn't fucking speak. Like, she did not speak, and that's probably where she is today, because she wasn't constantly contradicting herself and giving the police and jurors something to go off of.
She was trained by a police officer.
Mm-hmm. Granted, she did also have a police officer and a very good fucking lawyer that told her to shut her goddamn trap.
And a 30-day head start.
And, but that was probably the best thing that she could have done. I still hate that bitch, though.
God, but could you imagine those interrogation videos?
I would love that. I would love that. Also, I am in no way, shape, or form trying to tell anyone that if they're in interrogation to shut their mouth. Otherwise, we wouldn't have this podcast.
But you do have the right to remain silent. People do tend to forget that.
You literally have to be told that. Legally.
Yeah.
So.
And if they don't remind them.
Yes. But also, keep talking if you want, because you're keeping this podcast going.
Thanks.
The full interrogation will be linked below. Again, it's long. It's a lot. She's a piece of fucking work if you really want to watch it. It will be in our show notes. Okay. In the wake of the investigation, Sarah Boone was arrested and charged with second-degree murder.
I'm shocked.
Oh, my God. The development shocked the local community, though. And the case quickly gained national media attention. That's where we came in.
Yeah, that is where we came in.
I remember this happened around the same time that Gannon also happened. Mm-hmm. And you and I were, like, super balls deep into the true crime world and sending each other all this stuff. I also very much remember you sending me the video of him in the suitcase.
Yeah.
Yeah. But with that being said, that also means that right after this, we got put into a lockdown.
And that is why it took until a couple weeks ago for her trial to happen.
That's part of it. We'll get it. I'm getting into it.
I got ahead of myself there. That's not why. I'm sorry.
It's
5%.
Yeah. So, trial was finally set to begin on October 6th of 2024. Almost 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
My favorite word.
My favorite word. It was delayed due to Hurricane Milton. However, once the hurricane passed, jury selection was then set to start on October 14th. And I know you're probably sitting here wondering why the hell it took 4 years, even after COVID. Well, it's because it was delayed 16 other times. Yeah. That seems a little excessive, right? Well, it's because she had 9 different attorneys from February 2020 until September 2024 that had all resigned from the position due to
irreconcilable differences.
Thank you. We just sat here for like 5 minutes. I can't fucking say that word.
And I can't say it either right now.
It's a mess. You're welcome. So, she also wrote to the judge as well as the governor, stating that her trial is being mishandled and there's not enough communication between the judge and her attorney. I don't know if I've ever heard of a judge being really chatty with someone, especially like if they have attorneys. But hey, what do I know? Apparently not a lot. Can't say irreconcilable.
So
I still said it wrong.
Do you remember?
Look, she just.
I don't know if I Snapchatted you or if I called you, but I was driving home from work and I was talking to you about this case and I'm all, listen, are you sure you want this one? Because I just found out that she's had 9 different attorneys and we're on like 10 and you were like, what did you give me? And I'm all, I'm sorry. I now know why this trial took so long.
I mean, there's been longer trials.
Well, then
it could have been worse. I mean, why it took so long to happen. The trial itself wasn't too bad.
But then, as she was about to take the stand for trial, Court TV brings on her current attorney and the one that was just previous and has them both talking about the case on there. And the one, he literally asked the one, well, why aren't you representing her anymore? What did you see was wrong with this case? He goes through all of the stuff and how difficult she is and this and that, and blah, 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 just for him to go, and how do you feel representing her? And what is y'all's strategy? After this guy goes, and I feel for the ones coming after me. And yeah, so like legit, like, and he was like, and I talked to number 7. And it was like this whole thing of like, I was like, you have her ex-attorney and the current attorney, and you're talking about the case, and this one over here is like, the next attorney's screwed. I don't know how they're doing this. And the new one's like, hi.
Hello. We'll get into him in a minute.
I hope they have a group chat.
Like all the attorneys just have a group chat going on. We know it's
that would be amazing,
wouldn't it?
There's now group vacation trips. We've made a thing of this.
I would absolutely. What is really funny though is that the judge for this case basically stated that because all of the public defenders that she was given left, she forfeited her right to court-appointed counsel.
Yes.
Quote. It has become apparent to the court that the defendant will not permit herself to be represented by anyone. End quote.
This judge is so over her shit.
Period. So basically, at that time, this was a hearing in July, and this is where this picture happened.
It's beautiful. For those of you listening, she's giving this horrible pouting face that makes her chin just disappear.
It's so fucking funny.
It's great.
It'll be in all of our posts. Go look at it because it's so fucking funny.
Just know that if any of you get arrested for stupid shit, 1, we're doing an episode on you.
Yeah.
And 2, we only use the worst court pictures and mugshots of the perpetrators because they're not looking cute and pretty on here. So just know we will find the worst pictures of you to show. And share.
I will dive deep into finding the worst fucking picture of you.
We make sure that when you're the perpetrator, you don't look good.
And that's not a threat. That is a promise.
Promise.
So, basically, She's representing herself.
I remember when I so excitedly Snapchatted you. I was like, and we're representing ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Hold on. There's a little bit more. The court order also stated that the trial will not be delayed. Quote, for any reason except by extraordinarily good cause, and such extraordinarily good cause shall not include retention of counsel by the defendant. End quote. Period.
I love it when the judges throw the middle fingers up.
If you don't understand what that means, basically it means the judge is saying, we're not going to delay this just because you don't have a fucking lawyer. Thanks.
Be ready.
Period. So, what she decided to do was make a handmade flyer in jail.
I forgot about this.
Because, she just loves arts and crafts so much. So she made this handmade flyer in jail to be given out to attorneys to help her. Then good old defense attorney James Owens found her flyer and decided, what the hell? I genuinely don't know.
And that is legit his attitude. So it's, honestly, that's the energy he brought to the Court TV episode. So
yeah, I genuinely don't know if he decided to take it because of how, big and public it became, or if he just, needed something to do.
Oh my God. What if everybody in the office, drew straws or thought it would be really funny for one of them to do it, and he's the one that got picked?
Shit, maybe.
What if he showed up late to a meeting, and they're like, listen, whoever shows up late today is defending her? Please tell me you lawyers play games like this. I want to know.
Shit, maybe. So, a week prior to the jury selection, she was actually given a plea deal by the prosecutors. The deal was basically she would have to plead guilty to manslaughter, and that would reduce her potential sentence to 15 years. If she did not take this deal, and she was then found guilty of murder, the minimum sentence would be 22 and a half years.
Oh, so she can't do math and she can't drink.
Uh-huh. She decided not to take the plea deal.
Because she can't do math.
Uh-huh.
Or hold her liquor.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm going to get into trial. It's
entertaining.
It's something. It's something. So, as the legal proceedings unfolded, Sarah's defense team argued that she acted in self-defense, claiming that she was pushed to her limits during the argument. They went on to claim that Sarah was a victim of battered spouse syndrome. Do you know what battered spouse syndrome is?
I do.
Cool. You probably don't, so let me tell you about it. Great. So it's technically called battered woman syndrome, or BWS.
Well, that's really sexist.
I agree.
Why can't it be battered spouse syndrome?
I agree.
It'd be BSS. Sorry. This is a very serious subject.
Battered woman syndrome is a pattern of signs and symptoms displayed by a woman who has suffered persistent, intimate partner violence, whether it be psychological, physical, or sexual, from her male partner. This can coincide the opposite way, or even female, female, male, male. You get the gist of it. Or non-binary, non-binary. Go with what you feel, babes.
We love all the alphabet here.
Yes, we do. Victims may exhibit a range of behaviors, including self-isolation, suicidal thoughts, substance abuse, and signs of physical injury or illness, such as bruises, broken bones, or chronic fatigue. The syndrome develops in response to a 3-stage cycle found in intimate partner violence situations. First, tension builds in the relationship. Second, the abusive partner releases tension via violence while blaming the victim for having caused the violence. Third, the violent partner makes gestures of contrition. However, the partner does not find solutions to avoid another phase of tension building and release, so the cycle repeats. The repetition of the violence, despite the abuser's attempts to make nice, results in the abused partner's feeling at fault for not preventing a repeat cycle of violence. However, Since the victim is not at fault and the violence is internally driven by the abuser, this self-blame results in feelings of helplessness rather than empowerment. The feeling of being both responsible for and helpless to stop the violence leads in turn to depression and passivity. This learned depression makes it difficult for the abused partner to marshal the resources and support system needed to leave. I hope you guys understand what that means.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we trying to describe Sarah?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, we missed the mark.
Oh, hold on. I have a little bit more. Feelings of depression and passivity may also be created by lack of social support outside of the abusive situation. Research in the 1980s found that women in abusive situations increase help-seeking behaviors as the violence intensifies. However, their attempts at seeking help are often frustrated by unresponsive extended family, and social services. In a 2002 study, it was found that more than half of women had negative views of shelters and programs for battered women because of negative experiences with those programs. So basically, your fucking family told you to get out a while ago, and you didn't, so they think you're an idiot now. Respectfully.
Yeah.
A legal defense using BWS may argue that the systematic abuse suffered by the victim of domestic violence has led her to believe that killing the abuser was the only way to avoid being killed herself, and may rely on self-defense or just self-defense. Alternatively, the victim may argue that the abuse has severely altered her mental state, in which the insanity defense may be used. Yeah. That was a lot, guys. But I needed to explain this to you deeply.
Yeah, because it sets the tone for the entire trial.
Pretty much. Another super duper fun thing about battered woman syndrome is if it goes to court, the victim has to go on the stand.
So in order for the defense to use that as a defense, they have to start with, in this case, Sarah. She has to take the stand, and basically they have to prove that she is a battered wife syndrome, that she has it, in order for the defense to go on with that. And if it's not proven by the end of her testimony, they can't use it.
Pretty much.
And I learned that with this case because I thought it was wild that she was testifying in general and then so early on. And then, yeah.
I feel like we should, we'll touch on it when we watch these clips. We have a couple clips for you guys, specifically from her on the stand. So there's a handful of them, and as soon as you watch them, we're going to come back and discuss them. But firstly, I'm just going to say I'm sorry.
Yeah, the way that I excitedly jumping in my kitchen Snapchatting you to let you know that she was about to take the stand, because it's a wet dream over here when the defendant takes the stand.
Yeah.
Like, I wish so many nights for Letitia to take that stand.
Same.
Every single night before I went to bed, I was like, please.
Same.
So,
I
like,
thought
when
she was going to.
I thought she was going to too. So when Sarah got on the stand, I was glued to my phone.
Girl, you should have seen the messages I got from her. You got some too.
Yeah, I was so excited.
She really was. But honestly, it just fucking annoyed me.
She's annoying. That's why I was excited.
Anyway, here they are. Enjoy.
Tell the jury what happened.
At one point, I guess he knew that I couldn't come up with anything else, tapped me on my knee and said, "You're it." So from there, I ran up the stairs and hid into our shower, just waiting for him to find me so we could hopefully go to sleep soon at some point. And
Now, your shower, is it a tub or just a walk-in?
It's a tub, but it's in the master bedroom, and you have to go all the way upstairs, you have to go in the bedroom, and then you have to go into the bathroom part, and then there's the shower part.
So did you lay down in the tub?
At one point, yes, I was.
Okay. So you were hiding?
I was trying,
Okay. And did you believe that he was going to come try to find you?
yes,
Did you wait?
yes, for quite some time.
All right, then what did you decide to do?
That I decided that I need to go to sleep. I'm picking my son up the next day, and we need to start wrapping up the evening. And I went downstairs to find where he was.
And what, I think the jury has seen pictures of your, would you call it an apartment or
It's considered a townhome.
a townhome? So you walk down the stairs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at the bottom of the stairs is a bookshelf here?
Yes, at the very end of it, yes.
Okay. So you walk down the stairs and you turn and look in the living room. What did you see?
I don't even think I made it all the way down the stairwell because I was just looking for him as soon as I could to hopefully go upstairs as soon as we could. And I looked over and I saw him settling himself in the suitcase.
All right, tell us about the suitcase. How long, is it an older suitcase?
Yes,
Whose suitcase was it?
this is George's suitcase.
All right, and did he use it for traveling back and forth to Philly?
Yes, I had recently taken him on a trip to go see his children in Pennsylvania, who he hasn't seen in years, and we took that with us. And because of how dilapidated it was, how broken it was, in the end, after that trip, we decided that we would donate it.
All right, and I understand y'all kept the suitcase upstairs.
Yes,
How long did y'all keep it upstairs?
since we had moved in. I zipped him up. We thought it was funny, and we're joking about how he was, I guess, small enough to fit inside of the suitcase.
All right, so what happened then?
From there, it was just, we were laughing about it, and it was just strange that he was small enough to fit in there, and then I kind of moved it around a little bit with him in the suitcase still. It was still funny that he was still in the suitcase. Just, I think he and I were just kind of, couldn't believe that he could fit in the suitcase.
Did you eventually close the top?
Yes, well, the top was already closed. As he was settling himself in there, that's how I knew he was in there, was because the top was kind of flopping a little bit.
Okay. So he had got in there to hide, and he pulled the top
Yes,
on top of it. But you could tell he was in there.
yes,
You saw him right away.
yes,
All right. So at some point, did you zip him up?
yes.
Did you? And what was he saying or doing when you were zipping him up?
We just thought it was funny.
Were you both laughing?
Yes,
And so you zipped him up. Were y'all still laughing once you zipped him up?
yes.
Okay. Tell the jury what happened then.
From there, I moved the suitcase around a couple of times, just kind of on the wheels, and moved it around, and at that point, it was funny. We were joking and laughing about it.
All right, now eventually, did you go sit down on the couch and get your phone?
Yes,
Did I miss something?
well, the suitcase had, from me moving it around, was flopped over. So while it was like that, I thought at that point I had a moment to, I guess, take the time to talk to him while I guess he was not able to get out for a moment.
So you flipped it. You got it on the top, right?
Yeah.
It gets in, but at some point you flip it over so the zipper is on the bottom.
Well, it was just kind of how I was moving it around, and it ended up kind of flopping, so.
But it was upside down.
Yes.
So after you did that, what did you do?
That's when I went over and decided to videotape to just see the, I guess the gist in it for him to understand that right now I feel safe and right now I have the ability to actually speak to you in a manner that normally I would not have the ability to do.
And you were intoxicated,
Yes.
and you would agree that you said some things you should not have.
Yes.
Would you tell the jury what happened?
We continue to, I guess, speak to one another, and his tone changed, and I knew the tone, and we ended up, I guess, arguing back and forth with one another, and it was the things that he was saying very much frightened me, and cursing at me and threatening me. And
Did he want you to let him out of the suitcase?
I'm sure so.
Okay. Go ahead, tell the jury.
And it just got very heated very quickly, and he continued to push on the suitcase. And my fear was that he was going to break out of the suitcase knowing that it was a broken suitcase. And his hand started to come through, his hand started to come through this way. And so I shook the suitcase, trying to get his hand to go back in, shaking it, and telling him that, please stop doing this, please stop doing this to me, please stop doing this to me.
So his hand actually got out of the suitcase?
Yes.
And you went to the suitcase?
Yes.
And shook it?
Yes.
Did that force his hand to go back in?
No.
So you're shaking it. Were you shaking it to try to get the suitcase, his hand back in?
Yes.
How long did you shake it?
I don't know.
But his hand was still out.
Yes.
Was he trying to get out?
Forcefully, yes.
Was he angry at you?
Yes.
Were you in fear?
Always.
If he would have gotten out of the suitcase, what would he have done to you?
Like he used to tell me, he probably would have made me unrecognizable, or I would have lost my life.
We've seen the photographs of his left hand. Did you cause the bruising there?
I'm guessing yes.
Now, you've seen the bat. It's a youth bat.
Yes, I bought it for my son.
Is this the bat you used?
Yes.
And you said you poked him with it?
Yes, I kind of pushed, like I held it with the skinny part here, and then
So the grip here,
prodded at it, yes.
you grabbed it with both hands here,
Yes,
and then the barrel of the bat, the big part of the bat is here.
correct.
And you thrusted it into the different areas of the suitcase?
I started with his hand, and his hand, he was still trying to get out. He was still trying to do that. So I started to push on the suitcase around it, hoping to have his hand retract and go back inside.
Yeah. So now we were intoxicated. Now we were intoxicated.
That was a lot. That was a lot of clips, a lot of information and some clips, but we had to play them for you guys. Let's break this shit down.
Because it's honestly the calmest and most straightforward version of anything we get out of her up to this point.
To a point. If you were on YouTube and you were actually watching this, I don't know if you saw that, at least during the first couple of clips, every time she was talking about, oh, well, you know, I went upstairs to hide in this shower.
Yeah.
She kept looking up to the left. Like,
she's not even trying.
She's not. And also she keeps doing this, like, after every sentence she does the like smile when you see a stranger in the street.
The like lip smile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I love the introduction of the baseball bat.
Yeah.
And I was using the baseball bat to shove his hands back in.
Yeah.
And to smack it. Well.
Huh.
That's an interesting new addition to tag and hide and
it
seek.
Is a very new.
It's a very interesting introduction, considering like he had enough room to get out when we were being interrogated because he could slide his hands through. But now we were hitting his hands with a baseball bat, so he couldn't get out because we were so scared for our lives. When we weren't scared for our life at all in the interrogation. So,
couple more things that were said during her being on the stand, which we will link below if you really want to watch it. But I'm going to tell you a couple things. She also had some instant messages. It wasn't text, it was instant messages. To people on her phone, basically saying that George got upset at her because apparently some guy hit on her at the bar and he took her upstairs and kicked her in the eye. So she was definitely making this narrative that they had this like super physically abusive, aggressive relationship.
But just to remind you guys all, we didn't watch her. You can watch her in body cam footage from that day. And she has no injuries to her.
None.
Her eye's fine.
Mm-hmm. Also, this is the first time we've heard he was also upstairs with her.
Yeah, because he was never upstairs in the beginning. And that... We'll get to that later.
We're actually probably going to get to it right after this paragraph here. They also played a different video that was on her phone that showed George hitting a TV with a bat. And they were trying to say like, oh, look to see how violent he is. He's so violent. Like, and it was super interesting to me that even though she has this video on her phone of him acting violent, but didn't record any of the videos of him apparently threatening her while he was in the suitcase or leading up to it.
Yeah.
But, like, also, if he's hitting a TV with a bat and you're scared because he's being violent, you're just standing there all nonchalant, like, ha, ha, ha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. It's all just so interesting.
So, let's move on to prosecution really quick. It's a
Okay.
small little blurb. Small one. They painted a completely different picture, suggesting that her intentions were intentional and reckless. Something I have not mentioned prior to this right now. George was 5'3", and he weighed about 100 pounds at the time of his death.
Yeah.
So he was not a large man by any means.
So not a super heavy suitcase.
And also, in his autopsy, he had a lot of bruises and marks and things like that on his body.
That are not explained by suffocating in a suitcase.
Correct. But, you know, kind of makes sense with a bat.
Yeah, once the baseball bat's introduced, that makes a whole lot more sense. And...
Go ahead.
Okay. My personal favorite thing that came out in this trial was, and I believe it was prosecution who brought it.
I think so.
With the medical examiner and the wounds on his body and everything else. And with her bringing up on the stand that he was upstairs with her and not downstairs getting in the suitcase like she said she found him. They believe that he was pushed down the stairs while in the suitcase. And that is where a lot of his injuries came from. And then it's not hard. He's only 100 pounds to drag that suitcase into the living room where that video was taken. And so it's very easy that it's easy to think she pushed it down the stairs if she flipped it over. Because we have so much time between those videos, and they don't know when he got in the suitcase. We just have what she says. Yeah. They only have that timestamp starting at that first video, the 11-minute break, the 23-second video, and then we're done.
It would also explain, especially if he happened to hit his head during that, it would explain the,
his drawn out because every time I watched that video, I could not understand. I was like, he doesn't sound drunk. He sounds like he has a head injury.
Yeah.
And then the baseball bat got brought up, and then the possibility of the suitcase being pushed down the stairs. And I went, oh my God, he has a head injury in there. He's not drunk. That is not a drunken rage, get me out of here. And because he's like kind of pushing on it, like I don't think he was all there anymore to get himself out.
Yeah.
At that point. Like his speech is so telling.
Yeah. I agree.
Because he's not angry in any of that. He's not yelling. He's not telling her to fuck off. I mean, there's no anger. There's no aggression from him at all. Mm-hmm. And he's been in that suitcase for at least 20 minutes. At least that we know of. And he's like, I'm sorry, I'd be pissed in that bitch. After 5 minutes and you're not letting me out, I'm not playing nice and talking gently to you to get my ass out. We are. Yeah. And he's not rocking it. He's not pushing up. He's not trying to move. Like... They said that he didn't have a lot of room in there to be able to do that, but like you would think that as you're running out of air and you're doing that you're gonna try to rock and maneuver unless he can't.
Yeah. I just thought about this too. If he was in that suitcase, like if he died in that suitcase and he was stiff and purple when she found him, if rigor mortis had set in, how...
Well, yeah, because it was noon the next day. Well, yeah. By the time she called 911, it's 1 o'clock.
But also, if she pulled him out, why was his body still in that fetal position?
Because he was rigor mortis.
I know, but I'm just saying, but she wasn't doing...
No, not at all. There's no way.
There's no fucking way. Anyway,
no way at all.
So, that's essentially what prosecution went for, is that there was a lot of malice, a lot of intent, especially in the videos she took on her phone. And they ran with that, which, duh. After a 10-day trial, that was it.
I was shocked that it was only 10 days. I thought it was going to be way longer.
And less than 2 hours of deliberation. Which
I love it when the juries are quick.
Mm-hmm. The jury found Sarah guilty of second-degree murder, and she sat emotionless while the verdict was read to her. Sentencing is scheduled for December 2nd. So next Monday, not from recording, but from when you're hearing this. So next Monday, hopefully. However, Sarah's attorney has filed a motion for a new trial due to misconduct. I have no idea what the misconduct apparently was.
His client? She is the misconduct.
She is the misconduct, but they can't use her misconduct against herself.
Oh no, that's like during the trial. Isn't... Y'all can side-eye me and judge me all you want for just learning this, but I just learned this last week. I learned that apparently the defense has to make a motion to dismiss in the trial, or else they can like literally like be out for like not trying to like do what they have to do. So like that's why there's always a motion to dismiss charges in all the trials we do, because apparently the defense has to do that at some point. So is that what this is? Or because
no,
like,
they want a new trial.
During, like
they want a new
trial.
trial.
Something different. Okay.
Yeah, they're saying that there was misconduct, just like from before.
Yeah.
So she's just playing the fucking game, you know. I don't know if she's actually going to get it or not, considering how quick it was.
Won't.
And this judge is so fucking done with her.
Well, 9 attorneys.
9 attorneys.
Yeah.
Ugh. Wild. The Sarah Boone and Jorge Torres case raises profound questions about domestic violence, mental health, and the complexities of relationships. While the specifics of this case are tragic, and we don't really know all of the specifics, they reflect a broader societal issue that affects many individuals and families. Experts emphasize the importance of recognizing the signs of toxic relationships and seeking help when necessary. Domestic violence is a pervasive issue that can lead to devastating outcomes, and it's crucial for those in difficult situations to have access to resources and support. An average of 24 people per minute are victims of rape, physical violence, and stalking by an intimate partner in the United States. That's more than 12 million women and men over the course of a single year.
Say the and men a little bit louder for the people in the back.
Yeah. Women and men.
Because that's the new one that's coming, and I'm so happy is that this is not just women who sit on the side. Like, there's so many men who are horribly abusive relationships, but nobody listens because he's a man.
If you or someone you know is facing domestic violence or needs help, please reach out to a local support service or hotline. The number to call is 800-799-7233, or you can text BEGIN, BEGIN, to 88788. Someone is available 24/7, 365, and it is in more than 200 plus languages. We also have all of these resources on our website at justiceforpodcast.com under the resource tab. So, thank you guys so much for joining us today and hearing about this very strange case.
So, like, now you understand. We can't make this up. You can't make that up.
Literally, no. Except for her, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just bonkers.
Yeah.
Bonkers. But again, please go and follow us on all platforms that we have. Also go to our website, justiceforpodcast.com, and you can find all of our
episodes, resources. Everything. You can do case submissions. So if there's a headline you're following and you want more information about it, but you don't want to research it, we'll do it for you. And 100%. Then we'll come tell you all about it. Let us know.
Absolutely. But now that you have finished this episode, make your way over to Spotify or Facebook, because we are going to have some posts on there, and we want to know your opinions on some of this stuff.
Yeah.
So, do you guys think Sarah did this on purpose? Do you think there's any truth at all behind her stories? And do you think she may get a new trial?
God, I hope not.
I also hope not.
But let us know in the comments on Facebook, on YouTube. If there's not a comment spot, like you're on Instagram, or not Instagram, Apple Podcasts or iHeartRadio, go ahead and leave it in the reviews for us.
Please leave us reviews.
Yes, leave it in the reviews. We're absolutely loving getting all of them. We're actually getting some out to you guys, so you guys can see them as well. And, yeah.
But we hope you guys are doing great. We hope you had it's not Thanksgiving yet. We hope your Thanksgiving is going to be amazing. I'm so fucking ready to kayak down some mashed potatoes and gravy.
Double egg central.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, have a super, super lovely Thanksgiving. We will see you guys next week. We love you.
Gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble. Okay. Bye.